can't fling the jazz up, things like it toss up. You forget wash up, you forget mash up. Baby just grind on the cocky like a pasta. She a try the cocky like a rasta. Slaughter, she want me cuff like the fucking police. She a beg me.
It's official, Robyn. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, you want to hit that subscribe button, because this channel is for the tea, drama, and story times. And I'm a chick from Brooklyn. Everybody loves a chick from Brooklyn, and that's on period. This, as you can see by the title, this video is about my very first heartbreak, the person who turned me into a city girl. Now let me stop. But my first time getting hurt, and believe it or not, my first heartbreak didn't even come from a relationship. A lot of people may think that my Fall from Grace video was my first heartbreak because that was my first relationship, but no, that was not it. My first heartbreak was actually from somebody that was not even my man, but I'm gonna explain to you how I got my heart broke. For the sake of this video, I'm just gonna call the boy Hawaii. So me and Hawaii met through a mutual friend, my friend Anisha. At the time they were cool and we were cool, and she was on some, yo, my homeboy wanna talk to you. And at the time I was 19, 20. I was just, you know, living my best life. I was mingling, I was talking to people, never really had a serious relationship, never really dealt with anyone on a serious level, was just living my life. So it was nothing. I would just talk to anybody, not like that, but like, you know, if my homegirl want to put me on, I'm gonna talk to him, see where it go. She put me on to Hawaii, and me and Hawaii started texting. The first thing I noticed off the bat, Hawaii was he was such a gentleman. Like, he was mad sweet, mad nice, good conversation. He was just very different from a lot of the boys, I was gonna say men, but very different from a lot of the boys I've encountered at that age, you know. His brain just functioned different. Like, we had good conversation, we both knew what we wanted in life, and he had a good sense of humor and stuff like that. So we bonded off the bat. Now, I don't remember how we started getting to the point where we was just like around each other every day, but our first encounter, I remember I was going to chill with him and I was super drunk, but it was just like, I thought I embarrassed myself because I was mad drunk, like, oh my god, I'm mad drunk, and I came to chill with him and I was feeling sick and stuff, but he was super chill about it. He was like, girl, don't worry about that, shit happens. And then from that I was like, oh, he's really a gentleman. Like, he ain't even try to, you feel me, he just, you remember me. So from there we was just cool. Now, we was talking every day, every single day, like on the phone, text, and if we wasn't talking, we was together. It was so bad that like my friends became his friends because we were always around each other, that I would bring him around, or I would bring my friends around him, because if I want to chill with y'all, y'all gotta chill with him, because I want to be with him every day. It got so bad that we started calling each other yin and yang, because me and him was always together. Now, although we was always together and always talking, and it was clear that we had feelings for each other, we never really spoke about being in a relationship. For me, I never had, at that moment, I never had been in a relationship or was on a level where I was ever seriously invested in anyone. Like, I'm not gonna lie, my teenage years, I was really doing my own thing, because I was young. I'm not gonna lie, your teenage years are your best years. That's where you have your most fun. You don't gotta worry about being settled down or too deep involved with people. And for me, I had so much shit going on in my life when I was younger, and so much trauma. I never really wanted to be emotionally attached to anyone. So you can take what you want from that, but when you all boils down, I really was doing my own thing. We just gonna say that I was doing my own thing. I was just living my life. And so it didn't bother me. I wasn't never the type of girl to force anyone to be with me or be exclusive with me or anything like that, because I never had that in my mind. I was always accustomed to liking people, like, oh, I like you, you like me, but that don't mean we gotta be together. We could do our own thing. And at this time, me and Hawaii, we had that agreement, like, I like you, you like me. We never really spoke about being exclusive in a relationship, but one day I really sat down and I thought about it, and I'm like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I really like you. Like, I want you to be my man. I'm not gonna lie, I want you to be my nigga. I ain't gonna lie, I want you to be my nigga. And he was on some shit like, yo, I like you too. Or at this point we was basically saying we love each other. So he was on some, I love you too, but I'm not really ready to get in a relationship right now. I don't want to be in a relationship right now, or whatever the case may be. And I understood it, because me, I don't know how it, I didn't know at the time how it is to be in a relationship. So if he was saying he's not ready to be in a relationship, I was like, all right, then I guess he ain't ready. I wasn't forcing it, because at the end of the day, it was just gonna put a title on our situation. It wasn't gonna change anything. It wasn't gonna make it better. It was just gonna put a title on what we had going on, because we was really still seeing each other, being with each other, going on dates, talking all the time like we was in a relationship. It just wasn't anything. It wasn't labeled as anything. It was like besties with benefits. You get what I'm trying to say? So as time progressed, you know, the more I spoke, the more we saw each other, the deeper I got in my feelings. And it was just a different feeling for me, because like I said, I was always used to doing my own thing and never really getting too deep, because I didn't want to get my feelings hurt. Like I said, I already had a whole bunch of emotional trauma, and that was my fear, like getting attacked, getting in my feelings, and getting hurt. And although Hawaii, he never struck me as the guy to hurt my feelings, because the type of situation we had, we was so open with each other. We were just open. Like, I can't explain. Our situation was just so open. We were more like besties more than anything. Like, we spoke to each other about everything. But I realized that as time was going on, when he would tell me about certain situations with certain females, I found myself getting jealous, and I would try to say little slick shit. And I feel like he took on like, okay, she getting in her feelings. So we started getting to the point where he wasn't telling me stuff like that about his situations with other women, or like him talking to other girls, and I was like not talking to nobody else because I was so into him at this time. So I used to use Hawaii's Facebook to stay in the mix, because like I tell y'all in every story time, I deleted my Facebook years ago. I was off of Facebook, but you know, you still want to keep in tune. If you're from Brooklyn, all the drama is always on Facebook. So he had me on his Facebook, and I would just be preying the drama. And one day I was in his inboxes, and I came across some messages with him and a girl. For the sake of this video, we're gonna call her Delilah. So it was some messages between him and Delilah, and from the messages, it seemed like Hawaii was really feeling Delilah. They had went on a date or something, or met up somewhere, and they were talking on a talking level, because I realized it was on a talking level because it was a lot of oh baby this and baby that. And although I knew he was talking to other people, it would never be nothing to that extent. Feel me? It would be literal conversation here and there, but this conversation him and Delilah was having seemed serious. So I fake pressed him on it, but I fake pressed him on it, but not really pressed him. But I was on some, oh yeah, I was on your Facebook and I see you having conversation with this one person and you never told me about her. And he was on some, oh yeah, that's Delilah, it ain't nothing like that, you know, yeah, we fake talk, but it's not really nothing. And he gave me that reassurance, like, because we had a conversation about, yeah, like, yeah, we talk to other people, and he's not ready for a relationship, and I don't want to be in a relationship, but we would never have anyone above each other, if that makes sense. Like, we was the main people, feel me? Like, I was his main, he was my main. That was the type of situation we had. Like, we don't want to be in an exclusive relationship, but we know we really fuck with each other like heavy, so we would never put nobody above one another. So he basically spit that to me, like, oh yeah, you know what's up with us, like, bro, you know what's up with us, like, yeah, I fuck with her, but you know. And I couldn't be mad at that, because I agreed to be in a situation where we weren't exclusive. But I only agreed to that because I never been in an exclusive situation, and he said he wasn't ready, so I was sitting around waiting on him. Now fast forward, I don't remember if he told me, but I felt the distance. So I felt distance between me and Hawaii. Like I said, we used to talk every day. We used to always be on FaceTime, always text, always see each other. And he started curving me. Like, I would be like, oh, let's chill today. He'd be like, maybe tomorrow. Like, oh, I can't right now. Oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Or I would call him, he wouldn't answer. I would text him, he would be one word in me. Like, it wasn't giving the excitement it used to give. So I started to feel the distance, and I realized that he changed his Facebook password and stuff like that. So I started asking him, like, what happened? Like, did I do something? Like, what's going on? I really realized you brushing me off. And he was also, nah, it's nothing, it's nothing. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's nothing. But a couple days go by and I see him and Delilah posting each other and jacking each other like they're in a relationship. Excuse me?
Today's forecast, we can clearly see that somebody got me fucked up.
You said you wasn't ready. So y'all ever seen the post that say, like, men would say they don't want a relationship and end up in one, and the with you was silent because he didn't want to be with me? That's really what it was, because he was alright being with Delilah. He was prancing around with Delilah and posting pictures with Delilah. Mind you, we was never exclusive, so we would never do shit like that. Like, we would never post each other or like publicly jack each other. But if you knew, you knew, and mostly everybody knew because we was always around each other. But seeing that, I mean, I thought I didn't give a fuck that much, and I thought I would be able to handle it. But seeing him go around dealing with the new person outside of me and putting them on a pedestal and being in a relationship with me, it made me feel crazy. Like, that shit hurt me to the core. And like I said, I've never been that deep in a situation with anyone because I was always doing my own thing. So that was my first time shit like that was bothering me, and I couldn't figure out why. Like, I was asking my friends, like, why do I care so much? Like, why do I care so much that he's talking to other people? I mean, before he would tell me he was talking to somebody and I wouldn't care. So why do I care so much that he's exclusive with Delilah? I mean, I talked to other dudes and they ran off and ended up being in relationships, and I never really gave a fuck. I just charged it. But for some reason, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. Like, I was literally sick to my stomach. And another thing that I couldn't understand is I would still check the Facebook. Like, I knew anything that I would see on his Facebook would get me tight, but I would still go and look on his Facebook to see him jacking. I don't know if I was just being hopeful and wishing one day that they would, like, he would be like, oh yeah, I fucked up, let me go back to talking to Robyn. But yeah, I don't know. I was just always on his Facebook, and this is cringe and I'm ashamed to admit this, but I went into this weird ass phase where I would be texting him like constantly and be like, oh, why you want to be with her but you didn't want to be with me? Like, what's wrong with me? Like, I know she's pretty, but like, is it because she looks better? Is it because she dresses better? Like, what about her made you want to be in a relationship with her and not want to take me serious? And I ain't gonna get into the full details of what he told me, but he did have a conversation with me one day and told me all the reasons why he couldn't date me exclusively, but he would date her. And that shit hurt, bro. Like, I felt mad, unwanted. So I started feeling like I need to change things about me to make him want me more, which is the dumbest shit ever. But like I said, I was young. But I was young and it's fucking dumb. But I really was trying to be that girl, and I was trying to get him to be like, you know what, you the person I need to be with. Because at this point, we have been talking for like a year, over a year and some change. And that's another thing that upset me the most, that really had my heart broke, is because I really was talking to him for a year and some change. In the beginning, yeah, I was talking to other people, but as like I said, once I realized I was falling in love or really was getting in my feelings about him, I really was cutting everybody off, and I was like giving him all my time, all my energy, even though we weren't exclusive or really wasn't in an official relationship. That was my man. Like, you could not tell me that was not my man. So I felt like it was so unfair to me that I was with you for a whole year and some change, talking to you, being there for you, you know, always around you, going out with you, flying out to see you in a different state and stuff like that, because he would be back and forth between states, doing all of that, and this girl could just come in like a month and make you her man. Like, that shit made me feel mad crazy. It really broke my heart. It put me in a weird ass space. I'm not gonna lie, like, it was very weird. But for the beginning of all of this, I was really constantly texting him on some why me shit, and that's some shit you should never do, ladies. Don't ever ask a nigga why you somebody else and not you, because to make it clear, sometimes it's really not you. It's just the timing, you know. It could be a lot of different things, and you can't help who you like. And I realized that being someone who's cut people off to be with other people and stuff like that. It's just like, you can't help who you like. You don't want to purposely hurt someone. I'm not making excuses for him, but I'm just saying he probably didn't want to purposely hurt my feelings or anything like that, but he really wanted to be with her, and that's what he felt like he had to do at the time. And I feel like although he should have just communicated to me from the beginning when I first found out about Delilah, and let it be clear like, oh, that's somebody that he had interest in, instead of still like straying me along and then ghosting me low-key. It's like, he should have just explained it to me, because we were open, we was always communicating with each other about shit. So I feel like that just hit me off guard. Like, it just happened, everything happened so fast, and my heart was broke. I was devastated. I was so devastated. A part of me kept saying to myself, like, I felt like I was trying to invalidate my own feelings, because I was like, that's not your nigga. You can't be tight. That's not your nigga. Y'all, like, it's not like he cheated on you. It's not like he dipped on you because y'all was in an open situation. Y'all was just talking. He was not your nigga. So I kept trying to tell myself that it was my, like, it's my fault for being in my feelings. But no, it kind of wasn't my fault, because I don't care what nobody says, right? You can tell me we're not in a relationship all you want, but if you're hanging around somebody all the time and talking to them all the time and doing stuff for them, they're bound to catch feelings. Like, I was bound to catch feelings. We were always talking, we were always flirting, we was always expressing ourselves to each other about how we feel. We made it clear that we loved each other. We were always going out on dates. We were involved physically. Like, I was bound to catch feelings, so it was not my fault, because I feel like a lot of the responses I was getting from him was on some shit like, you know what's up, like, you knew what was up with us, like on some, you knew that we wasn't together, or you knew we already had an understanding we weren't in a relationship, so why do you feel that way? But at the same time, it's like, nigga, yeah, we weren't in a relationship, but you also was telling me you love me, and you feel me, like, it was just a lot of fuckboy shit, you know. But I do hear this happening to a lot of women too, where niggas always be like, oh, we not together, to invalidate their feelings. But your feelings are very much valid. You don't have to be in a relationship with somebody to have feelings for them, or to love them, or to care about them. So when they hurt you, you're gonna feel hurt. Like, and that goes for friends, family. If you love anybody, anything they do is gonna hurt you. Don't let them ever invalidate your feelings. And I had to learn that, and that was a part of my healing process. I had to realize, like, I'm not wrong for having feelings, but I knew how to move from this point on. Obviously I should have never agreed to something that I didn't know, that I knew. I should have never agreed to the situation of being in an open space if I knew I wanted to be in a relationship. But I didn't know I really wanted to be in a relationship until he was in a relationship with somebody else. So that's my fault. And from the point where I introduced the idea of being together to him, and he told me that he wasn't ready to be in a relationship, at that point I should have stopped wasting my time and fully invested myself into him, and gone to continue on mingling like I was doing before. Because if I had done so, I think that I wouldn't have been so attached, and I wouldn't have gotten hurt so bad by the situation. I feel like I was rambling, but fast forward, well, we like 5-6 years now. Me and Hawaii are very good friends, because like I said, past all our emotional shit, we were really mad cool. Like, we were so cool with each other. Like, we were the best of friends. So fast forward, we are very cool. I have forgive him for that. I mean, we were young. That situation was out of my control. We both had conversations about this many times, of how it could have went differently, and how we should have left it as us being besties with benefits, and stopped getting, instead of getting so deeply involved, so my heart wouldn't have shattered into a million pieces. But you live and you learn. Everything is a learning experience. I'm never gonna hate anyone. Things happen, feelings change, and that's just life. So this is the video about my very first heartbreak. I know it's probably a little bit weird to you guys that my first heartbreak is not coming from somebody that I was exclusive with, but things happen, like I said, and this is a learning experience. If you ever dealt with anything like this, if you ever got heartbroken by somebody that you was just in the talking stage with, or like a friend with benefit, or somebody that you wasn't ever exclusive with, leave a comment down below and let me know about your experience, because I know I'm not the only girl that went through some shit like that, getting in my feelings with somebody that's not my nigga. But I learned from that, because now I know not to get deep in my feelings if you're not my nigga. But comment comment down below and let me know your experience, and tell a friend, hit that subscribe button, because we on the road to 50K. And from 50K is 51K, 52K, 53K, 54K, 55K, 56K. From there it's up and it's stop.